Good morning, grade 6. Right, let's have
Good
now
morning.
science 6. Okay. By the way, I scheduled your retake. Okay, retake of the exam for the mastery test tomorrow. Sure. What time? Okay. Remember, you have your peer coaching. Let me check on your schedule. Wait, just give me a minute or two. I'll be checking your schedule. So tomorrow you have your reading. Okay, that's scheduled 10:30 to 11:30. Correct? Am I correct?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay. So I'll be scheduling um the exam.
Is it all of us?
Yes, of course. You will not, or you would not like to take the exam again? It's okay. Once their grade as is. Yes, yes, Alex. You're raising your hand.
Wait, why do we have to retake the exam?
You don't want to retake the exam?
Yeah, I'm just wondering, why do we have to retake the exam? Always because some students got very low scores.
Okay. I will cancel the retake of the exam.
What?
Here, could I
Yes.
see my score to see if I should retake it?
Okay. So this is now the twists. Since we will not have the retake of the exam. Okay. We will not have the removal exam. Okay. You contact your advisor, already given your test papers to your advisor. Okay. Talk to your advisor. And I will not schedule a retake of the exam. So whatever your score is, it's as is. All right? Okay. Let me share my screen. Let's have now the lesson 2 of science 6. Okay. You already know the concepts of how, or you know the ways on how to study science, especially science 6, right? We are more on terminologies. Okay, grade 6, you need to take down notes. Without notes, mind you, without notes, you might be failed in my class. Why? Because this is more on terminologies. Whether you like it or not, we need to take those notes up. Anyway, I already
Teacher, I
uploaded.
took notes.
Come again. Please raise your hand.
I took notes. What does that mean?
Why you need to take down notes?
Oh, like if you took down notes, what do you do with it?
Okay, if you took down notes, then you need to study the notes that you have taken up. Did I answer your question, Robin?
Okay, teacher.
Okay. So again, we're dealing with different terminologies. Okay. Though the lesson that we have, lesson 1, is just an introductory. Okay. Introductory to separating mixtures. Let me share my screen. Can you see my shared screen now? This is actually your LMS. Can you see my shared screen now?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. So our next lesson is separating mixtures. Okay. You click on the discussion and you can see the presentation there. That's the PPT. Okay. Our PPT here is downloadable. So you can actually download this one over. Right? Sure. How do we download this? Okay. You click on the Google slide here. Can you see my shared screen? Okay. Are you following? Are you still following?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes.
Click on the Google slide here and it will route you to the slide proper. Okay. All you have to do is to download it over. Since this is my account, okay, I can actually see all my PPTs here. So you just click on here, open. Let's open. So once you click the separating mixtures, you can actually see it here. Okay. You just click on file. file and download. Okay, to Microsoft PowerPoint or PPT. Am I making this clear?
Yeah.
Yes.
Six. Okay. This is actually your notes. Sure, why do we need to have notes? You need to study the terminologies given there. Okay. You look at your grades. You look at your scores in first mastery test. This is included in the first periodical test. Mind you, that periodical tests are 20%. Okay. These are, or this is actually 20% of your grade. Okay. So the gravity of the periodical test is much bigger compared with the other activities, simply because you will have your periodical test once every quarter, meaning to say that it has a bigger impact in your grade, right? Yes, JM,
So
you're
it's
raising your hand.
basically like an exam, but it's a bigger impact.
Yeah, definitely it's an exam, of course,
Oh, okay.
just like your mastery test.
It's a
So
quarterly
in every quarter, we will have two exams, the mastery tests
okay.
and the periodical tests, or the quarterly examination. Okay, your quarterly examination has a bigger impact on your grade because that's 20% of your grade. And I'm telling you this, that you only have one periodical tests or quarterly examination per quarter. So it's isolated, okay? It is concentrated. So it has a bigger impact in your grade. Okay, let's move now to separating mixture. What's with the separating mixtures? Okay, so let's take a look at the objectives here. Okay, let's take a look at the lesson objectives. At the end of the lesson, okay, you're able to know some of the techniques used in separating mixtures. Okay, appreciate the importance of separating mixtures through giving examples. So I'll be giving some examples of the importance of this separating mixtures. Why do we need to separate mixtures? Know some of the practical applications of separating mixtures and apply some of the techniques in separating mixtures. It could be that we can have a laboratory experiment if in case, if we are given a chance for a face-to-face, okay? If we will be moving forward to full face-to-face, we will have the laboratory activity. Again, I am requiring everybody to wear lab coat during the laboratory activities. All right? That is for
When
your
is it, teacher?
protection. That is not for aesthetics only, or for your decoration, or for you to be, look good with wearing lab coats and lab gowns. No, that is for your protection, right? Am I making that clear, grade 6?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay.
When are we wearing the
Let's
lab
look.
coats? Whenever we have a laboratory activity?
Yes, every laboratory activity, we will be wearing lab coats, especially if we are dealing with chemicals and some of the specimens, right? Okay, let's move forward. Separating heterogeneous mixtures, separation using fans and winds. So this is really common during the old time. Okay, when rice grains are harvested from the stalks of plants, they are still covered with brown shells called hulls. So this is actually, we need to separate the rice grains with its hulls. Okay, how? Melon grains fill up the hulls, but pieces of them still get mixed with the white rice. In order to completely separate the hulls from the rice grains, a process called winnowing, okay, is done. So how winnowing is actually done? Okay, winnowing can also be done without fans. Here in the Philippines, this is common in provinces. The mixture of grains and hulls is placed in a bilao. Are you familiar with the bilao? That's a Visayan word. It's a vernacular actually. A bilao, and then shaken and tossed. The lighter pieces of hulls falls lower than the grains. So moving the bilao after catching the grains, let the hulls pieces fall to the ground. Because again, this grains is much has a bigger weight compared to hulls. Okay, So hulls is lighter, so it will fall on the bilao slower than the grains. So we can separate now the bilao, the grains and the hulls. This is how we do it. Have you seen this one in the provinces?
Mhm. Okay. Yeah.
Okay. This is actually separating winds. Okay, separating mixture. It's a mixture. Why do we need to? Why do we categorize this as a mixture? By the way, why do we need to categorize this? Why this is considered as a mixture?
Because it has other, I don't know.
Because yes,
It
Kate,
has other ingredients in it.
there's other ingredients in it. Yes.
Mm.
Any other answer?
It has other ingredients in it, and you have to separate it, right? By doing the thing that the woman is doing.
Correct, JM. So there is a mixture of rice and hulls, or the one that covered the rice. So we need to separate them. Okay. Why do we need to separate them? What do you think is the reason why do we need to separate them?
To us. Okay.
Please raise your hand if you want to answer. Why do we need to separate them? Yes, Kate, you're raising
To
your hand.
sell it. To sell it.
So,
To sell it.
just stop. Possibly, yes, Alex.
To remove dirt from the grains.
Yes, that's a one good answer to remove dirt. Yes, JM. Yes, JM. Yes, Robin.
You need to separate it so you could sell it separately.
Yes, it's a one good answer also. We need to separate them so that we can actually have what? The grain of rice, of course. Okay, let's move forward. The next one is separation using machines. So we can actually use machineries in separating mixtures. Robin, you're still raising your hand?
Oh, sorry, forgot to lower it.
All right. Gravity is a strong and readily available force that is useful in separating some mixtures. Rocks in mining sites are sorted according to the size and weight using the shaking incline table. So we have actually machines or table machines that separate mixtures, especially in mining. So why do we need to separate this? One good reason is that yes, JM.
Teacher, is this in the LMS? What is the name of it?
That is in the LMS. This is readily available in the LMS. I'll
What
let
is
you
the
see
name?
Science 6.
Oh, okay.
Separating mixtures. You didn't see it?
I did.
Okay. Again, there are some machines that separate mixtures, especially in mining. So why do we need to separate them? One good reason is that in mining, they tend to mine gold. Okay, but this gold is actually mixed with rocks and soil. So we need to separate them with the use of machines. Okay, according to their weight. Okay, and size and weight using the shaking incline table. With some help from the running water and the lighter rocks move in different directions while the heavier rocks go in fairly straight path. To sell, yes. Okay, after which they need to gather all of those gold pieces, okay, and sell it. Correct. Similar techniques are employed in farms wherein harvested crops like beans, nuts, and peas need to be sorted according to the weight. Okay, since it is time consuming to manually separate them or the damaged and rotten crops from one's good ones, machines to sort out weight or sort out by weight are used. Recycling facilities also segregate metal scraps or scrap metals, bottles, plastic, and paper using similar machines make each type of material move through separate chutes and containers. So this is one good example. Okay, this is actually a machine that separates soil and rock, soil and gold. Okay, this machine. Okay, it will just shake it over. Okay, it will continuously move, and the heavier one, like your rock, will just go on the sides, while the lighter one will stay in the table actually. Okay, the second picture here, this is actually in the recycling bins. Okay, this recycles, okay, plastics and other recyclable materials. Okay, again, the lighter one will stay, the heavier one will just fall off on the sink, right? Separation by panning. Okay, what's the separation by panning? Some minerals like gold can be obtained only by mining but also by panning. Okay, it can be obtained not only by mining but also by panning. What's the panning? It is one of the oldest method of looking for gold in riverbeds. Okay, gold panning is done by choosing a part of the river where gold is most likely located. Gravel from the part is scooped into a pan with a bit of ore. The pan is gently swirled until the heavier materials sink to the bottom and the lighter materials are spilled out. Okay, the set of materials is sifted or shifted into tiny pieces of gold. Okay, just like this. Okay,
Okay.
I actually saw this in some of the areas, um, some of the areas in Cebu. Okay, but this is in provinces. Yes, JM.
This is separating water and sand from the rocks, right? Because sometimes they sell the rocks, right? And try to find like some stuff inside the rocks, and they separate the water and the sand and just leave the rocks on the plate, right?
They're actually JM. They're actually separating the rocks. Okay, the water.
Yeah.
The rocks with the use of water and gold.
Yeah.
They're looking
Oh,
for gold.
gold.
Yes.
Oh, gold.
Some of the
Okay.
riverbeds has gold on them.
Because like not like 5 minutes away from my house, they're always doing this because we have a river. We have a river
Mhm.
down our village, and they always do this, but they're not looking for gold. They're just like looking for rocks.
Possibly, but most probably in provinces they're using this one to look for
Yeah.
gold because gold are much expensive or is much expensive
Yeah, they're
than the
much more
other.
valuable and have
Yeah,
more worth.
and they can sell it in a higher price. Okay, let's move forward. Do you have any questions so far?
No.
Question?
No.
Okay. Let's move now to separation of immiscible liquid. Immiscible. Okay. So if it is liquid to liquid, again, okay, this is the terminology. If it is liquid to liquid, it is miscible and immiscible. If it is solid to liquid, okay, mixture of solid and liquid, it is soluble and insoluble. Right? Again, liquid to liquid, it's okay, Kate. By the way, this is actually recorded. Okay, I'll be uploading this one after the meeting in your LMS. Again, if it is liquid to liquid, it is miscible and immiscible. If it is solid to liquid, it is soluble and insoluble. Am I making that clear? Grade 6?
Yes, teacher.
Okay. Immiscible liquids like oil and water, you cannot actually mix them off, can be separated by pouring or scooping out the topmost liquid. This process is called decantation. Again, please take down notes. Okay. Again, decantation. This is the separated or separation of oil and water by scooping out the topmost liquid or pouring out the topmost liquid. That is decantation. Okay. Separating immiscible liquid does not actually sound as simple as large-scale situation. For example, it is not easy to clean up oil spills. Are you familiar with oil spills in large bodies of water? Oil spills. Okay.
Oil
Yes,
fields.
oil spills. Like these ships, if they crash into other ships, then these giant crates have oil in them, and then they drop inside the ocean, and they hurt the environment, right? Yeah,
That's correct.
I've read a lot about this.
That's correct. Okay, that's correct, JM. So oil spills are actually oil from these large ships. Okay. If they're gonna accidentally spill that off, it can actually kill some of the organisms living nearby, especially marine life. Okay. So oil spills need to be removed quickly and thoroughly
Yeah, they have to
because
be removed quickly because they pollute the water, and they hurt the environment, and they dissolve like the corals, right? They turn them into like gray. Yeah.
correct.
Will
True,
also
JM. That's correct. Okay, they pollute the water, according to JM, and cause injuries and sickness to animals living nearby in the marine life, plants, and the people also nearby. Okay, it can also ruin people's property and livelihood. To clean again an oil spill, some people scoop up the oil floating on the surface, but then if it is in a large scale, it is really hard. Then sell it to the oil processing firms. Some use ships with pumps to suck out. Okay, a suction machine that suck out oil. Okay, they tend to remove oil manually by separating because again, these liquids are immiscible. They cannot be mixed. They will just or the oil just float above the water. So what can we do is we need to remove it manually. Okay, it could be by the use of a sucking machine or suction machine, or manually by scooping it out. But if it is in a large scale, it is really hard. Okay, so this is one good example of oil and water. As you can see, you cannot actually mix them off, but you can separate them by scooping out or decantation. Okay, do you have any questions so far?
No.
Okay, separation using strainers. Okay, another simple way to separate heterogeneous mixtures. Yes, JM.
Do they use machines to scoop out the oil?
Yes, there are
Yeah,
machines
they do
that
it
scoops
manually, right?
out There are
Yeah.
machines that are used to scoop out these oils.
Yeah.
We can do it manually, but we can do it also with the use of those machines. Okay, but if it is in the large scale, again, it is not that easy. Okay, because these chemicals contains also different compounds. Okay, they contain different compounds that can eventually kill organisms. That's the problem. Okay, we can actually remove all the oils, but the compounds that these oils are containing or contained will stay in the water until we can actually have treatment. That is why we have water treatment. Okay, to remove all those chemicals submerged in water. Right, let's continue. Another simple way to separate heterogeneous mixture is by straining. So how do we strain? Brood leaves are separated from the liquid tea by using a strainer. Okay, are you familiar with this strainer? Still have 10 minutes left. Okay, instant teas are now packed with bag or tea bags, so the leaves can be brewed without mixing with the liquid. Okay, fine sand can be rid of rocks and pebbles by passing them to a fine wire mesh. So this is now your strainer. Okay, this separates the liquid with those floating materials on it. Okay, or with this floating substances. Yeah, remember that the purpose why do we need to separate them by strainer simply because we just need to extract. Okay, we just need to extract something on them, just like when your tea bags, we need to extract the tea. Okay, or in the tea from the leaves. Okay, these leaves, some of the green tea. Okay, let's talk about green tea. Some of the green tea available in the market is just leaves. These are just leaves. We need to strain them off. All we have to do is to use a strainer, right? Because you don't actually need the leaves there. We just need the components of that particular leaves to have a green tea. Yes, Kate.
I drank green tea once, homemade tea.
Yes,
We got it from my garden. It was like mint.
yes. Green tea is very popular in some of the area of Korea and China because they believe that um, this tea contains a very essential component that can be very helpful also in the human body. And this is very true. I agree with them. It's true. Yes, JM.
They mix with the water, right? When you put like the tea bag thing, and then the water turns into a different color.
Yes. Usually it's a green
Yeah,
or
and
a
it
brown.
and it make and it gives like type and it gives like types of vitamins, right? It's healthy for the body, right?
Of course, because this
Yeah,
is extracted from the leaves.
yeah.
It's
It's extracted
natural.
from the leaves, the liquid of the leaves, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
So we don't need actually the leaf itself. We just need the extracted component from the leaf. So this is now the importance. Why do we need to separate mixtures? Right? Let's take a look at this one. Okay. Separation using magnets. Okay. Magnets can pick out some of the metals from the mixtures. Recycling facilities recover scrap metal using electromagnets. So again, for example, you have a mixture of sand and metal. Okay. Or metal bits. How can you separate them? Because metal can be attracted using a magnet, we can separate them using, again, a magnet. It could be an electromagnet or it could be an ordinary magnet. But if it is in a large scale, like for example, you want to separate a metal scrap in a pile of um, garbages, okay, we need to use, again, electromagnet, a bigger electromagnet to pull the metals off and separate them from the other components on that garbage or in that dumping garbage or
Sorry,
dumps
teacher MJ,
garbage.
my microphone was on.
Okay. Do you have any questions so far? On your
What is
screen,
that? What is that that they're separating with? Is
on
that
your
sand?
screen, you listen, JM.
Oh,
On your screen is a petri dish that contains sand and metals. Those are metal bits. Okay. So we can separate them using a magnet or electromagnetism because metal is actually attracted to magnets. Yes, Alex.
I've seen in like some videos of like cereal, like in like YouTube, like uh there's this guy with a magnet and he like puts it near the bag of cereal and for some reason there are like some tiny pieces of metal iron in it.
Mhm. Again, because metals are attracted to magnets. That's the main reason why, right? Do you have any questions so far? Again, these are concepts.
oh.
Remember,
None.
we will have a quiz, okay, with regards to this. You need to take down notes.
I've already like I'm waiting for snacks so I can write all of these notes.
Okay. And you can download this PPT again. Okay. This is readily made for you. Separating homogeneous mixtures. Okay. Separation by evaporation. Just give me wait. Do we still have time? It's 4 minutes. All right. So let's have the separating homogeneous mixture, separation by evaporation by next meeting. So we are done with heterogeneous mixtures. Okay, separating heterogeneous mixtures. By next meeting, we'll be discussing about separating homogeneous mixtures. Do you have any questions so far?
None.
Let me take your attendance first. We have Alex, JM, Ram, Rodel, Robin, Ken, Gabriel, Kate,
Oh,
Magella,
teacher?
Villanueva, and Harjay. Did I miss somebody?
No, like JM is the responsible one to take down notes on the attendance.
Okay, that's great. Very good. Okay, I like that. You're now responsible enough in handling your class. I like that. All right. I think that will be all for today, class. Do you have any question? We are
No.
done with
No.
heterogeneous. By next meeting, we'll be discussing homogeneous. Okay, separating homogeneous
Okay.
mixtures. All right. Have a nice day, grade 6. Take care. Bye-bye. Enjoy the rest of the day.
Goodbye.
Bye bye.
Good day.
Good night.